This story begins with Jim "Red" Albright, a man who led a seemingly ordinary life flying cargo and passengers. But beneath the surface, Albright lived a double life as Captain Midnight, an undercover agent tackling high-stakes espionage and adventure. Now, what made this program so thrilling to its listeners? It was how it captured the spirit of the era, packed with intrigue, suspense, and pure high-flying excitement. Espionage was at the heart of the show. You had Captain Midnight navigating covert missions, infiltrating dangerous organizations, and basically gathering intel to foil criminal plots. And let's not forget his trusty crew, some extraordinarily loyal companions who kept the show grounded, so to speak. It was these layers of adventure, mixed with camaraderie, that really resonated with people. You could almost imagine yourself flying beside them, enmeshed in their daring missions. And I've got to say, as someone who's always been fascinated by aviation, even as a kid, I felt an instant connection when I first came across Captain Midnight. I mean, those old warbirds cutting through the clouds, the raw power of it all. It's just captivating. I remember spending hours building model airplanes, thinking about the adventures they'd go on, right? And listening to this series. It kind of took me back to that world, where the sky held endless possibilities, and every flight felt like the prelude to something extraordinary. But the real genius of the series was how it turned something as vast as the sky into a battleground for good versus evil. The stakes always felt personal, as if the safety of the entire world rested on Captain Midnight's shoulders. A lot of what made Captain Midnight's adventures so dynamic was his ongoing battle against Ivan Shark, the quintessential mastermind, and his daughter, Fury. Ivan Shark was the type of villain who just oozed menace, you know? The kind who always seemed like he was one step ahead of everyone else, at least until Captain Midnight turned up to throw a wrench in his plans. And speaking of Fury, she wasn't just Ivan's sidekick. No, sir. She brought her own edge to the table. Together, they created this kind of high-stakes energy that made each confrontation with Captain Midnight feel like a real event. And the Secret Squadron? Can't forget those guys. Chuck Ramsey, he was the young, idealistic member of the team, always eager to jump into action and prove himself. Kind of like the kid brother you always root for, right? And then there was Ichabod Mudd. Oh man, what a name. But I think everyone loved him for how grounded he kept things. As Captain Midnight's mechanic, he made sure those planes, not to mention their whole operation, were running smoothly. He was the guy in the background, holding the fort, but never stealing the limelight. Together, this lineup created a perfect balance: the noble hero, the devious villains, and the clever, resourceful crew. And let's be honest, villains like Ivan Shark are what kept the audience coming back for more. That element of danger, the never-ending mind games, it's no wonder listeners felt hooked. In fact, the show's villains, especially Ivan Shark, kind of redefined what bad guy even meant for an adventure series at the time. He wasn't just evil for the sake of it. He was strategic and, calculated, which made taking him down all the more satisfying for Captain Midnight and his team. Let's take a moment to talk about what keeps fans coming back to Captain Midnight, even after all these years. The show's been around for over a decade, and it's kept a dedicated following despite, let's be honest, some ups and downs along the way. Just looking at the ratings and reviews, you can see that it holds a pretty solid spot in the hearts of its audience. A 4.1 star average? That's not too shabby, right? But of course, fans have had their critiques too. Some listeners love the nostalgia. They talk about how Captain Midnight brings back this simpler, thrilling storytelling that's just hard to find these days. Others, though, they've been kind of vocal about wanting more updates. I get it. There's nothing worse than getting hooked on a series and then, poof, no new episodes for months. And I've got to say, it's always a little frustrating when you're left hanging like that. A couple of reviews even mentioned the recycled content feeling a bit, repetitive. So it's a bit of a mix, you know? Love for the show, but some fair criticism too. Now, the global reach of Captain Midnight is something worth mentioning as well. The podcast is available in so many countries, which is amazing because it gives such a wide audience the chance to experience these stories. But here's where things get tricky. Region restrictions. Some people, depending on where they are, can't access certain episodes. And that's honestly kind of a bummer. Imagine hearing about this amazing series from a friend, only to find out you can't listen to some of it where you live. It makes you wonder just how much bigger the show's footprint could be without those restrictions, right? What's really fascinating, though, is how Captain Midnight has managed to stay relevant. Over the years, they've updated the platform pretty consistently, bringing in features, new categories, and keeping things fresh. With everything from science fiction to philosophy, they've made an effort to appeal to a broader group of listeners. It's like they've taken the spirit of the original Captain Midnight, always evolving, always adapting, and brought it into the digital age. And, at the end of the day, that blend of timeless storytelling and modern updates is what keeps fans coming back. It's this connection to a valued memory, while also feeling like there's always something new to discover. And that is a legacy you don't see often. Where else can you find a story about bravery, adventure, and unwavering hope that also adapts to the times? But that's all for today. Thanks for tuning in, and I hope this trip down memory lane with Captain Midnight was as fun for you as it was for me. Until next time, take care and keep chasing those high-flying adventures.